Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm going to assemble this 10 by 20 white party tent from Quictent. Lucky for me, it came with no instructions. So here's some of the parts so I can see. I can see uh, the, the tent part of it and some wiring, and I see a whole lot of poles with a whole lot of connectors. I did figure out that these poles, which were numbered 5 and 6, were thicker than each other and connected to those plastic pieces at the bottom. But I have a bunch of other poles right here, which are numbered. These are numbered 2, and this bag is numbered 3. And the numbers are very hard to see, but they're right there. I can tell by looking at these plastic parts that this is a middle piece, because the pole would be in here and a pole would be in here. This would be going down based on one of those I just showed you, and the other two would be going an angle up top. This would appear to be a corner piece that would go in the very corner of that, and I assume this would be one of the pieces that would be somewhere in the middle. And additionally, I have a bag of what appears to be connectors with this very, very small ring inside of it. Since my deck is approximately the size of what this tent will be, I've assembled all the poles, but I'm going to leave them alone because we really should assemble the triangle of the top first and then move the poles underneath. So along those lines, I've taken each of the plastic pieces I just showed you and put them in their relative place, being the corner, the middle, the other corner, another middle, the middle of the ridge with the two pieces there, and the corner and the last corner. I discovered that I had a number 4 that had tapered edges, and I have to conclude that based on the number of number 3s I have, that I put a 3 at each of these ends, leaving the little spring-like thing at the end to go into the plastic. So I will start to assemble those next. You assemble this, you stick this in here first so that it's all the way through, and then after you do that with the number 4s, when you take a number 2, or excuse me, a number 3, and you stick it back through, it locks in with that around it to give it some extra support. For the long spans, it's a 3, 4, 3, and for the shorter spans, it's a 2, 3. So as you can see, I've approximately laid out exactly how it's supposed to be before just the poles, assembling them all. Of course, the long spans, the 10-foot spans, having the numbers of 3 on the ends, 4 in the middle, and another 3 at the end. That is also true for this span, before we'll meet that, for that span, for the long span, for each of the 10-foot spans, as well as the main rib in the center. For the poles, that will be the triangles. They actually are slightly different. They use a 2 with the connector and then another 3. So as you can see, all the corners are together. Those little spring-loaded things, which I'm not sure are super visible, need to be pointed down. So when you're assembling, try to get them in the same way. Otherwise, they're easy enough to twist into the place. So I now have a pyramid. As you can see, it's now up on its poles, and I'm going to find a good way to secure it for my deck. This is normally put on ground with stakes, but I needed it for my deck. So it's done as they say. Would have advised putting the putting the tent up before lifting it up on the pedestals. It would have, or the poles. It would have been much easier. A couple things to point out now that it's up is that there are these Velcro loops that go around each of the locations. At the corners, on the bottoms, there are these hooks that go into the poles, and just, you know, making sure that each of these things have all the springy things going through the loops. It's done, as you can see, and this one did come with sides, but I'm not going to put the sides up for the party I'm having today. Make sure when you're done you tie with anchors your tent down to something, because at the end this is a giant sail, and if it's not tied down with the wrong gust of wind, it can go right over. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, hit subscribe and hit the like button, and come back and see this and other horror and other helpful videos at my channel in the future. Thank you.
Good boy.